It's always been a dream of mine to turn my backyard into a Taco Bell. And I'm here to tell you folks, dreams do come true. Now we can start griddling.
Welcome back, friends. We went full Taco Bell on this cook. Started off with some onions. That's a whole white onion and about pound and a half of ground beef. I found out real quickly that I used way too much onion. That's okay. Just move some to the side. This is the best part of the cook, this shallow fry in the foil pan. That's like a brownie pan, like an 8x8. You can see it's only about a ½ inch deep. There's me moving the onions over. I'd highly recommend the shallow fry. I mean, everything turned out great. This was a great reason to use my taco holder. You see it in the back. If you don't have one of these, get one. I'll put a link in the description. But the foil pan with the shallow fry, you'll see later, was just definitely the star of the show. And I'm going to be doing that a whole lot more. Here comes the taco seasoning just on top of the ground beef after it got all cooked up with the onions. And I moved the ridiculous amount of excess onions over to the left. Hit it up with a little bit of water, just like it says on the back of the packet. Nothing fancy here. Then we'll mix it all up. Then we really get it to look like Taco Bell, you know. Except for this is real beef. I'm still up in the air on what Taco Bell puts in there. This is actual ground beef, as you saw. So once it's mixed up, moved it to the right. Hit it with a little bit of water because this is where I'm going to be putting down my flour tortillas and my naan bread and some cheese. So I just kind of wanted to clean the griddle off a little bit while I make these. There's the naan bread. It's way too big. They make smaller ones that are about 6 inches that said they fit in a toaster, and that's what I would recommend. This one is way too big. You'll see here in a second. So there's my refried beans, and then while I was doing that, I decided to go ahead, since it's got up to temp, and start frying up one of these flour tortillas. Ooh, buddy, look at that go. So anyways, we'll check back on that later. Put down a little bit of cheese with the refried beans. Then we take our beef, we're going to put it inside of our hard taco here, and then we're going to try to fold it up inside the naan bread. But you'll see I have to cut the naan because it was just, once I lift up both sides, you'll see how ridiculously oversized it was. That was just, I don't know what I was thinking. It's way too big. That's like a 10-inch piece of naan. It was delicious, don't get me wrong. It worked out. It was delicious, but look for the smaller ones. They say they fit in the toaster. They're probably about 5-6 inches. Because what I did with this one, flip over that tortilla. Oh, buddy, it looks good. Is I took my dough scraper and then I went ahead and cut off the sides of the naan just so it fit a little bit better and looked a little better once I got both sides off. And then those left me like little naan pita chips that I fried up. So we'll put that up in the taco holder. Very happy with the taco holder. This is my second time using it. Would highly recommend it. Great for parties, great for storing your tacos as you're making them on the griddle and then bring them back inside. Super easy. So now I got another little tortilla down, throwing down some cheese on top of that. You saw me flipping over the other tortilla that's still frying up over there. Then once I get that cheese melted, we're going to go with another hard taco. So we're doing a couple double deckers here. First one was refried beans and naan. Second one is cheese and a flour tortilla. So we're going to try to get them up there to stick. It wasn't quite melted, so I just put the hard shell down, pushed it up, and left it on the griddle for a little bit so that it would start to melt the cheese. But the flour tortilla in the mini fryer was done. Pulled that out, and then I used the taco holder to shape it. So I fried it out, and then I put it over there and pushed it down, and that went ahead and shaped it into a taco for me. Probably the best shell I made, to be honest with you. Not a shocker, I'm sure. The one that you deep fried turned out the best, but light, crunchy, delicious, so good. So then anyways, so we pushed those back together for this other double-decker taco, flipped it over to the other side. Want to make sure the cheese melts on both sides and gets that in there. So I just left it on there for a second to just kind of make sure the cheese melts. More of the refried beans. Oh yeah, now it's a party. So these are just 6-inch flour tortillas. A little more cheese going in there. Here comes the beef. You could do any meat you want with this. Obviously you could do chicken, you could do steak, you could do a bunch of meats and just kind of have fun with it. That was the whole point of this cook, is just let's just have fun and see what I can make on the griddle. This one is basically like a quesadilla. It's like, you know, just a mini half quesadilla with meat, beans, and cheese that I just folded over and let sit there for a while. There goes the other double-decker back up in the holder. So I'm gonna let my quesadilla sit there so it can start to melt down and get the cheese all melty and get a good color on it. And then we're gonna move on to the next taco. More beans, delicious. Go ahead and put some beef in this one. This guy we're gonna go ahead and roll up a little bit. You'll see here in a second. Let's move out that quesadilla out of the way. So we'll flip both sides in, roll them up, try to get a little seam there at the end. Oh, kind of start over here. Hold on. Roll them up. This is the trickiest part, but you want to try to roll it tight as you can and get your seam once you press it down, because he is going, that's right, into the fryer. Basically, it's a chimichanga. We're just deep frying this thing now, and then our quesadilla is looking great. Just keep letting that sit there. It's really ready to go. So wait till you see this chimichanga though once it comes out. I was super happy with that. It's just frying up. Quesadilla is looking good. Give her another flip. Here comes a little hard taco. This is just a plain hard taco with beef. Nothing to write home about here, but you know, you had to do one plain one. I'm trying to just do a variety. Maybe there's a kid there, only wants a plain taco, doesn't want to live a little bit, whatever. Flip this over. Ooh, now we're talking. Look at that. Starting to get some color on it. Really frying up good. But it was coming apart, so I had to get some of my glue, my little refried beans glue. Put that on there to try to stick it back. I also could have let it sit seam side down on the griddle a little longer, and that would have made a seal. That would have been a lot nicer and would have kept it from doing that. Now the quesadilla, I think we've already seen this before. We know what we're getting here. Oh, buddy. Cheese and beans. That's just, that's Taco Bell goodness right there. That really is. It's looking delicious. There's the chimichanga basically coming out of there, all fried up. Great color, looking good. Then I threw down some cheese. I was trying to do that thing that you've seen people do where they melt the cheese on the griddle and put the tortilla on there. It wasn't too successful. I wasn't patient enough with letting cheese melt. I just don't really love burnt cheese, so I don't know why I tried this, because I was not patient. You'll see me flip it here, and it's just the cheese is like half on, half off, because I didn't let it sit long enough. So I just flipped it back over and let it just keep burning again. About another minute later, try to get it all up. Now it's pretty burnt. Now it's pretty burnt cheese. So some people use this as the outside, and they flip it inside out to kind of have that look. But then I don't know how you eat that. I don't know where you put your hands if you're just touching the burnt cheese. So I just went ahead and filled it up, and then just kind of rolled it up into a taquito. You know, nothing fancy, little small burrito, taquito, whatever you want to call it. So kind of worked. Got some zesty ranch, Old El Paso. That was pretty delicious. Basically just ranch with taco seasoning, but it was good. Found it on sale. Little bit of toppings here, the tomato, the lettuce. I have some cilantro. It's also going to go inside of these. And then we will hit it up with some of that zesty ranch. This was real good. I'd highly recommend this. Definitely the star of the show, though, was the foil pan. Second star of the show was taco holder. Get yourself a taco holder. It's worth it if you have a griddle.
Well, I hope this video makes all of your wildest double-decker taco dreams come true. I think I'm going to start my diet next week, and as always, keep on griddling, friends. You're not very helpful.